Talking with Matt Brickman today, a family law mediator, someone that I use very regularly. He's the owner of iMediate, Inc. And before I forget, you also wrote a book on mediation, didn't you?
I did.
What was the name of your book?
It's called You're Not the Only One. It's on iTunes. It's free download. It's sort of my story, how I got into mediation, the battle that I had in my own life that actually got me into mediation.
And the name of the book, one more time,
is You're Not the Only One.
You're Not the Only One. Okay, great.
Yeah, volume 1.
I've actually read the book, everyone, and I'm not going to give anything away. Read the book. It's free. Okay? It's free. Yeah. Just read it. It's free. So we're talking all about mediation today. And again, some of the things that we've covered earlier in the show is about why mediation is so important. Number one, the cost. I was actually in court this morning. I set a case for trial. I got a trial date of August 2018.
Sounds about right.
That's a really long wait.
Yeah.
To get your day in court. Matt, if I wanted to, let's say, book you for a mediation as opposed to waiting to August 2018 because my client wants to stay in control of his future and doesn't want to let a judge decide, I could probably get a mediation date 30 days out? 45?
Much sooner than that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I work days, I work nights, I work weekends. Sometimes, as you well know, our weeks can really fill up.
Yep.
And I've actually worked with and without attorneys because, I do pro se mediation where there's no attorneys, but most of what I do does have attorneys. And I've had where attorneys are like, look, they're busy. Everybody's busy and trying to coordinate, for your paralegals out there, it's like coordinated a small army because you're trying to get your schedule and opposing counsel schedule and my schedule. Then you've got two party schedules, and sometimes you may have a guardian ad litem or you may have a forensic accountant or it's a small.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. And so I've done Saturday mediations where they're like, "Will you work a Saturday?" I'm like, "You're working a Saturday?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll work a Saturday." I've worked the past 4 Saturdays.
Yep.
So I'm used to it. I also work evenings. People are like, "Well, will you work late?" I'm like, "Yeah." What I try not to do, and going back to what you were saying earlier about these epic mediations, these 20-hour mediations, is what I've learned is I try not to go past an 8-hour mark for mediation because what I don't want is I don't want the risk, and for me, my job is to empower. But at a certain point, it's difficult to empower when you are just tired, you're worn out, you're exhausted. And what I don't want is then the parties to sign an agreement just to get done and then tomorrow wake up with buyer's remorse or mediation remorse. And then go and hire a new attorney, maybe not yourself because you were part of the settlement negotiations, so get another attorney and then try to have it set aside. And then I was under duress. I was coerced. I was tired. I didn't know what I was signing. And I don't want to set people up for failure. What we do is, by using the mediation as the vehicle to get them through the judicial system, it's to set them up for success so that they're not having problems. I tell people all the time, I'm so glad I met you. I never want to see you in this setting again. If I see you out and about, awesome. Not in this setting. I don't want the repeat business, even though, as you well know, usually people make bad decisions and then they make worse decisions.
They do.
And so I've actually done divorces for a party. And then a couple years later, they call me. It's like, "Hey, you did a great job with my divorce. Can you do another one?" And I'm like, "You got married?" They're like, "Yeah, this one didn't work either." And so sometimes you do see the repeat business.
It's funny you said that. I would say about 40% come back. Yeah. I see a second time, either with a second marriage or we did the first agreement and now they want to modify it.
Yeah.
Or some of my clients feel like they did too well. And sometimes they feel like they can push the envelope a little further now.
Okay.
And even though sometimes I have to explain to them, look, we did really well the first time. You win the lotto, you stop playing the lotto. You don't keep playing the game. You're pulling the handle on the slot machine. You hit the jackpot, you stop playing for the night, and you go do something else. But I would say about 40% in my practice that I see again. If people make bad decisions, sometimes they continue to make bad decisions. We try to educate them so they're making better decisions, and maybe they're not ending up in the same situation that they were in originally.
And don't you always find that when we're helping the parties are like, "I'm never going to do this again."
Every time.
And Then you get that call, hey, I need to get divorced.
Yep.
I'm like, what happened to I'm never going to do this again?
Right.
Oh, my gosh, she was amazing. Well, so why isn't it working if she's so amazing? Well, she's not amazing anymore.
Right. And that's kind of the whole purpose of why we do this and why we get you guys to stay in control.
Preventative maintenance instead of damage control. For more information about having your mediation conducted by iMediate, check us out online at iMediateinc.com. Email me at mbrickman@ichatmediation.com or call me toll-free at 877-822-1479 or direct at 561-262-9121. And I look forward to speaking with you and scheduling your mediation very soon.